Welcome to the Pathways to Wellbeing podcast, where we explore holistic approaches to health, wellness, and personal growth. On today's show, we are joined by the incredible Erin Knight, a mindfulness coach whose passion is helping busy women find calm amidst the chaos of daily life. Erin is a mum of 2 boys and deeply understands the modern-day challenges that come with balancing family, career, and personal well-being. Today, we will be hearing how mindfulness and intuition can transform your daily life, and Erin will share powerful insights on how to reconnect with your inner wisdom and create a more balanced, fulfilling life. Erin's work empowers women to build confidence and make decisions with ease by connecting to their intuition. I do hope that you enjoy the conversation for today. And if you would like to dive deeper into this journey of self-discovery and help support Sacred You, please hit that subscribe button, give us a like, or check us out at www.sacredyou, that's the letter U.love, for more valuable resources. So let's get started and enjoy today's conversation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pathways to Wellbeing with the Sacred You community. My name is Helen Prince, and I'm very pleased to welcome Erin Knight. Hello, Erin. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Now, Erin is a mindfulness coach, and your speciality, which I absolutely love, is helping women especially find that calm, because we know when we've got kids and jobs and all sorts of things, life can be just crazy. So you help women find that calm amongst all of that chaos. And one of the things that you really are fantastic is getting them to get back in touch with their own intuition. Now, I want to delve into that a little bit deeper in a minute, but can you just share a little bit about you and how you came to be in this space where you're helping women in this particular area?
Sure. So I spent years working in the corporate world, trying to juggle work and family, being a mom, being a wife, being a friend, doing all that stuff. And I hit burnout really quickly. So I was introduced to meditation. I was introduced to mindfulness. I fell into a really nice, I was lucky enough to find a nice group of women who were doing intuitive development work, which was a huge part of the mindfulness for me. So one thing led to another, and I realized that I really wanted to help other women like myself find that calm amidst the daily chaos, as you said. So I've been doing this coaching now for, I want to say, about 10 years full time, certified professionally for the last 4 years. I've also done a lot of work in mindfulness-based stress reduction to help women on the go tune into mindful moments.
Beautiful. It's so important, isn't it? Because it's not just about your own well-being, because as you said, you experience burnout, and a lot of women experience burnout because we're trying to be everything to everyone, aren't we?
That's
And
right.
it's not just about looking after our own health and well-being, it's also what sort of role models are we being to our children? Are they going to then grow up and repeat what they see? Because they don't care what we say, they care what we do. Are they going to repeat those patterns? So there's such a bigger picture, isn't there?
There really is. And I think a lot of times for women especially, we put everyone else's needs ahead of our own, and we almost feel selfish to pause, to take some time for ourselves, right? But it's so important that we do so, because yes, monkey see, monkey do with our kids, first of all, right? They're not going to learn those proper self-care techniques if we're not showing them that. But also we get short with people around us. We get snippy with people around us because we're on that autopilot. And even if we don't mean to respond the way that if we don't take time to pause and break, yes, that autopilot gets us, and it's not good for anyone.
Yeah, I caught myself actually the other day my husband did something and it just annoyed me and I was cranky at him. And then my son came in and asked me a very innocent question and I was snappy at him. And I've gone, oh, hang on a minute, you're not angry at him. So don't be snappy at him because then he gets a little bit, oh, and then he passes that on. It's not a good ripple. So yeah, it's such an important area. I love that you're doing that. And I love that you're working with women, especially.
Yeah, and I did too. And I just had a lady that I worked with 2 weeks ago. Working mom, same thing. And she gave almost an exact example of that. She said her child came into the room and asked her something, and she said, "What?" She just snapped. And then she says, "I'm sorry, hold on. Let me take that back. Like I'm just
Yeah.
really focused on what I'm doing right now. And I really don't mean to be short with you." And that prompted a conversation between the two, right? Where she says, "Look, mom's just really tired. I haven't been that great at taking care of myself lately, but let's stop what we're doing now and let's do something together so we can just have a little bit of a pause," right? So important.
And that in itself is so powerful because she's had that awareness. And then instead of the child interpreting it however they might interpret it, they've got some perspective. They've learnt something different. I love that. And I take it that's something that you, when you're working with your clients, this is the sort of stuff that you'd be talking to them about. Is that right?
That's just it. It's all about being mindful in the moment. And for her, when she had that moment and she snipped at him, to accept that moment without that judgment as well, without beating herself up. She recognized it right away and she apologized and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm human too. I was frustrated with what I was working on right now, that I did not mean to take this out on you." So she didn't judge herself harshly about that. Whereas maybe 2 months ago, when she was at the peak of her burnout, that is something that maybe she would have dwelled on overnight. It would have sat with her and it would have ate away with her. And that would have just contributed to this cycle of autopilot and burnout.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That's breaking those cycles, isn't it? Because we can be our own worst enemy. Yeah.
That awareness.
Very good. Awareness is everything. It truly is.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about intuition. What is intuition for those who maybe aren't really sure?
Inner wisdom or intuition in a nutshell is really that inner voice that we all have, or that gut instinct that we all have. Think of it as that an internal guide or internal GPS that quietly nudges us towards doing what feels right for us. Those moments where something just clicks or you feel drawn to a certain decision without fully knowing why, that is your intuition. And it's so important to listen to your intuition because it really helps us make decisions that are more aligned with who we truly are. And when we ignore that intuition, we often end up feeling stressed or second guessing every single move that we've made, or we look for external validation rather than just accepting what we know is right for us.
Yeah. I think we've all experienced that. Damn it, I should have listened to my gut moments. I knew it and I ignored it because we allow our logical brain to rationalize, because sometimes those little nudges, they don't make sense logically. And so we override them. So do you have any tips on how to not do that and how to start trusting that voice?
Yeah. For sure. So I always give my clients, I've created a 3-step framework to developing our intuition. And these are things that we can do every day on the go, that we don't need to put into a huge, long meditation or anything, just simply adding it to our daily routine. First, we want to cultivate some sort of mindfulness. So this can be a practice such as meditation or self-reflection, or simply in mindfulness, there's something called focused attention. So that is simply paying attention on purpose. So for example, when you are brushing your teeth, you are paying attention to only brushing your teeth. You're not maybe pacing the bathroom or thinking about all the million things you still need to do. You're simply mindful of brushing your teeth. Or when you're having a meal, So often we eat, but we don't truly pay attention to the meal that we're having. We're on our phones, we're watching TV, we're having a conversation. If we, for the first few bites of that meal, really are mindful of that meal, how it tastes, how it smells, the textures, that is focused attention. We are tuning into that exact moment. So by doing that every
And
day,
why is that important? Sorry to interrupt you.
that is
Why
so
is that important that we are mindful in those moments?
because we quiet our mind, we train our brain to just be present. We live in a world where we have so many distractions. We have constant stimulation. We have all these streaming services. We have internet everywhere, smartphones. We are so wrapped up in the outside world and the distractions that we're no longer like tuning into ourselves. We're no longer living in the moment of now. So by practicing mindfulness or focused attention, what that does is it brings us back into our body. And over time, it just reduces that stress. It reduces that part of our brain that is overwhelmed and inflamed all the time. And it just teaches us to just ground ourselves and find that balance.
Sorry.
By cultivating that mindfulness, again, it's one of these things that help us move into our intuitive awareness. It helps us quiet down that stress so we can listen to our inner voice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So we can actually hear it. There's not all of that white noise going on. So that's
Chatter
a
in our
great
mind.
tip. Yeah, that's a great tip because we often, I know I'm guilty of, I'm cleaning my teeth and I'm walking around and I'm filling up the water jug and I'm not just cleaning my teeth, I'm doing 70 other different activities at the same time. But
Right.
yeah, I like that. I'm gonna start doing that.
And we really have thousands of opportunities every day to practice focused attention. How many times have you've been driving somewhere and of course you're paying attention to the road, but all of a sudden you're at your destination and you're like, oh crap, like that was quick. How did I get here? Because we're so caught up in just the monotony of getting to work and that autopilot, right? We're thinking of so many different things. So,
Or it's, oh crap, I actually meant to go to the shops, not go
yes.
here.
And you
And
just go your usual route. Exactly, right?
mm,
So even when we're in the vehicle, like really acknowledging, tuning into your senses. How does the seat feel against your back? How do your hands feel on the steering wheel? What do you hear around you? Do you have your radio on? Is it just the hum of the car? Or is there any smells in the vehicle? Just tuning into a few seconds of what you are exactly doing in that moment really helps.
very
So
good.
that first
Yeah.
framework, developing your intuition, cultivating mindfulness. Next, you want to start trusting yourself. So
Mm,
how many times have you had an intuitive thought, right? And you've just dismissed it, or you've thought, oh no, that's crazy. That can't happen, or whatever the case may be. Trusting yourself is huge when it comes to that intuitive development because it grows that confidence. It helps that really grow.
yeah, that's right. And I guess that's the only way you're going to learn, isn't it? By following it and then seeing what happens. And quite
Exactly.
often, I know with me, I get really pleasantly surprised by what
Yeah,
happens when I just follow that little nudge that makes no sense at all. And you're
exactly.
right, the more you do that, the more you trust it. And even if it can't really go wrong's not the right word, but even if you follow that voice and it didn't quite go, I don't know, you always learn something, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is too, everyone's intuition speaks to them differently. So by starting to trust your intuition, you can start to determine how your inner voice speaks to you. So for example, someone might get like a physical sensation, right? I've had people
Okay.
that are like, I get a little, maybe I get butterflies in my stomach or I get a tingly sensation. Other people, it's simply that feeling of just knowing, right? So the more you start to trust that, yes, the more that confidence grows, but also you start to understand how your intuition speaks to you.
Beautiful.
And then lastly, you want to act on your intuition. So
Yes.
once you've learned how to trust your intuition, you want to act on that. And so you can practice acting on your intuition by doing like low risk things, right? For example, you get a text message on your phone. So without looking at your phone, see if you can just guess who that is that's texting you. Or your phone rings, same thing, without looking at it, who is calling me right now? So practicing and acting on your intuition in ways like that helps for sure as well.
Oh, they're great tips. Thank you, Erin.
Yeah, of course.
Can I ask you though, how do you know if it's that little intuitive nudge or if you've had the thought yourself or you've imagined it, or how do you determine between intuition and imagination?
Yeah, I get asked this a lot, right? And we've all had a same thing, gut feeling. It's, was that really my intuition, or am I just wanting this, or am I
Mm,
imagining this, right? So our intuition really comes from the subconscious part of our mind, right? It's just that knowing, it's that gut feeling. There's really no logic involved with that. Imagination is almost something that we create. Imagination feels a little bit more fantastical. It feels like more of something that we are building ourselves. So, to determine the difference between the two, I always say to start paying attention to how you feel when you have that intuitive thought or that imaginative thought. Intuition often feels, like I said, like a deep inner knowing. A lot of times we have a sense of calm or just knowing that is without a doubt right.
yeah,
Where imagination feels more playful, more creative. It's not always logical, or it's not always easy to be rationalized because, again, it's something that we are creating like a fantasy. So pay attention to how you feel to see where that takes you. An example would be, let's say that you are trying to choose between two jobs. You've got two different job opportunities. Imagination would be in your mind, you more creating the outcome there, or imagining yourself in that situation. So thinking about, okay, it's going to be in this city and I'm going to live here and I'm going to do this, that, the next thing, where intuition would feel just right. So I'm going to take this job because it just feels right. Even
yeah,
though maybe it's the harder of the two things, it just feels like that's your natural path.
yeah. Okay. So you want the imaginations is you want to get into that side when I don't know if you want to manifest something or if you're the vision boards and all of that sort of conscious sort of creation sort of thing, if that's the right way to phrase it.
Sure.
And the intuition is more the just sitting with yourself and it's, I don't know, when you correct me if I'm wrong here or if I'm taking this way off
Yeah.
base. I sometimes when I don't know what to do, I will toss a coin and heads it's this, tails it's that. And whichever one it comes up, I get that immediate either yeah or no, that feeling. And is that more the intuition side,
Yes, because you know
kind of?
deep down. You know deep
Yeah,
down what you want to do, right? So sometimes you flip that coin, and even if it's, let's say, heads is yes, tails is no, but you want it to be yes. So it might be
yeah,
no. And even though, okay, this is my answer, deep down you're like, I don't know, I really don't want that. So your intuition is telling you to lean towards that yes. Another thing to think of,
yeah. So stop
you know,
questioning.
yeah, our intuition is also often based on our past experiences or that innate sense of what we know is true, kind of what you're saying here, right? It's like we know this is what we want deep down, even though maybe we're not acting on that right now. So our intuition is based off of that innate sense of knowing that is what we want to do. Imagination is more rooted in our creative power to
Yeah,
envision, you said, something that does not yet exist, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we all have intuition, don't we?
Mhm,
It's
mhm,
just to what degree we're in tune with it or trusting it or acting on it. Is that
yeah.
fair enough?
Yeah. Everyone, humans, we were built with that intuition as that internal GPS, and it's really built in as that safety mechanism. And I think what's happened over the years, we've moved away from that. I feel back when people are mapping the ocean and mapping the world, they knew where to go just based off of intuitive kind of feelings, right? We ignore that
Yeah.
so much now because everything is evidence-based, which is also good, of course, but we've moved away from trusting that internal GPS. Some people are born with that a little bit more heightened, a little bit more in tune, but everyone has that sense of intuition. Think of it like a muscle. The more you pay attention to it, the more you work it out, the stronger it becomes.
Yeah. Good. If anyone's watching this and they do want to get back in tune with their intuition,
Mhm.
how can they work with you?
Sure. So there's a few different things. You can find me on social media, Erin Knight Coaching, or my site, erinKnightCoaching.com. I do offer a 6-week intuitive discovery coaching program. And so that is a 6-week program where I teach you how to tune into your intuition, how to build that up, how to find that balance and that purpose that you're missing in your life right now based on your own intuitive awareness. I also have a daily prompt journal called My Intuitive Journal, and that is available on Amazon, on Barnes and Noble as well. And that is, as I said, a daily prompt journal that just helps you to increase your intuitive awareness every day through simple exercises.
Okay, that's pretty good because that's going to help you with that awareness. And with the awareness, then you can take the actions and then you get the evidence, and then that it creates that cycle, doesn't it, of helping you to really trust, like you said, trust your own intuition.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
exactly.
really cool. Okay. So
Yeah,
the
and
intuitive journal.
yeah, my intuitive journal. I should mention too, all of my coaching, my 6-week program, as well as other mindfulness coaching that I offer, everything is done remotely. So you can work with me from anywhere all over this great world.
I love that too, because this world has become such a small place now that
Really?
it sounds
Yeah.
like you've got a Canadian accent. Are you Canadian?
I am. So I am
Yeah.
based in Canada, yeah, in Calgary, Alberta, but I work with clients all over the world. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
brilliant. You just got to get the time zones right and happy days.
exactly.
Fantastic. Oh, I've really enjoyed our conversation, Erin. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave the audience with?
No, maybe one thing, if you are really looking at tuning into your inner wisdom and wanting to cultivate that mindfulness, start each day doing a body scan. Before you get out of bed or as you're getting ready in the morning, just pause, start at your feet, do a quick scan up your body and just ask yourself what it is you need to be aware of today and listen to your body. Do you feel a little bit of anxiety in your stomach? Do your legs hurt? Do you need to rest? Are you extra dehydrated? Do you need more water? Tune into your body and just see what it says to you, because deep down, we always know what it is that we need.
Excellent. You've given us some fantastic tips. I'm definitely going to start doing some of that mindfulness stuff because I'm very guilty of multitasking when I'll have a movie on and I'm playing Candy Crush. It's do one of them.
Right?
But yeah, I think I don't know, we conditioned into being busy. And
We do.
if we can come back to just being,
Yeah.
I think it's going to, like you said, it reduces a lot of stress. We'll be able to see the forest for the trees. We'll be able to be mindful in those moments, and that has such a powerful positive ripple effect.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Erin. Really loved our conversation. Appreciate you being
Thank you.
here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us today and tuning into a wonderful discussion with Erin. If today's conversation resonated with you, please hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and even share this episode with others who would benefit. You are also welcome to check us out at www.sacredyou.love for more tools, resources, and empowering connections. Remember, the journey to well-being is a path of small, mindful steps. As Erin reminds us, tuning into your intuition can unlock incredible strength and clarity. So stay present, stay grounded, and know that you already have everything you need within you. Until next time, may you have a beautiful day.